What's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? This is your boy Porter Rock 77 coming back at you for another video. Check out the description box. You'll see the link to my Twitter. And, hit me up there with a follow so we could continue the conversation. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoyed the video and you stick around for more content on my channel, all right? I'm going to make this quick and easy, but we're going to talk about two things. Number one, I'm going to start out with Crackdown. Eurogamer released an article talking about how Crackdown apparently that we didn't know about prior to this article. Information such as people who we thought was working on the game wasn't actually developing it. They were more like a consultant. Davy Jones, one of the chief creators of the chief creator of the first Crackdown game and stuff. Apparently, he was just an advisor, and that first unveiling of I think it was 2015 when they showed the destructible environments of Crackdown. Apparently, that was just like a showpiece. It wasn't actually the game. It was just the potential of what the game could be. It's just a lot of things, right? And it just seems like that Crackdown 3 is on its last delay. Here's my thing. Here's my advice. You can read the article. I'll post the article. I'm not gonna recap and reread the article. I'm just gonna give my opinion on what Microsoft should do, and I think it's time that Microsoft should delay the game to next gen, and I'm gonna tell you why. All right, I think Microsoft should just cut the game for Xbox One and make it part of Project Scarlet platform, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. It has something to do with one of Sony's three pillars when it comes to making a game. Some games just have to be made even if you don't think you're gonna make money off it. Right now, Phil Spencer's little by little is trying to build goodwill towards the Xbox community, towards Xbox gamers. He bought 5 studios. He's telling them, hey, we'll never have an underpowered console. He's blah blah blah, all this stuff. Well, guess what? This right here is not just words, it's action now. Because everything else is just words. That's all Phil Spencer has been really doing for the most part when it comes to games. It's words. Now this is where the rubber meets the road. All right? Are you going to just simply cancel this game, or are you going to make it because it needs to be made for the platform? I would say do what Sony does, because Sony did it with The Last Guardian, Sony did it with Ico, where the game just wasn't running well on a previous platform, so they moved it over to the next generation platform for, since the next generation platform has more power, better hardware, maybe you could realize your intention there. Number one, Crackdown 3 should have never been the show 2 piece. I say Phil Spencer made his first mistake there. He should have separated his intent. Do you want cloud technology to be part of gaming, or did you want Crackdown to look good with cloud technology? It's two separate things. And what I mean by that is, if you wanted cloud technology to take gaming further, then you should have came up with a plan where multiple games use cloud technology little by little. Use cloud technology to improve just a little bit of destruction in Gears of War 4. Improve, a little bit of destruction in Halo 5. Pick your little games here and there. State of Decay 2. Hell, State of Decay 2 doesn't even use dedicated servers. But you see what I'm saying? Use cloud technology bit by bit and show enhancements in physics and destruction in these games. With that learning curve, with the trials and tribulations, with spreading across multiple developers and the lessons learned, they will gather all this information on how they implement it or ways of working their games and try to improve the formula little by little. Build it from the ground up bit by bit. Instead, you put all your eggs in a basket in a game. I'm sorry, at best, Crackdown's an average franchise. It's not a big franchise at all. It's not that big. Crackdown 3 should never have been put on the pedestal that people are trying to put it, where it's gonna change the game. It's freaking Crackdown. It's not that big of a franchise. 2 was a wash. 1 was pretty good, and I will say 1 became, maybe famous is the wrong word. It became notable because it had the Halo 3 beta in it. That's why most people got the damn game. It was probably the most expensive beta ever in the history of gaming, right? That's just how it is, all right? Phil Spencer should have never put Crackdown in the position that it's in now. But if you want to fix it, you got a couple of things. Number one, you have to worry about cloud technology. If this game comes out in February and doesn't deliver what's been promised or what's been talked about for 4 or 5 years, it will be an utter failure. And people will not have faith in that company's word of delivering great games. So one, you got to think of, the reputation of being a first-party studio. Do not release this game, trash. Do not release this game underwhelming. Do not release this game not having the fully featured 100% destructive environments that you promised. Don't even half-ass it. Don't do it, because you're gonna be called out, and you're putting you're putting your reputation on the line. That's number one. Number two, you can't cancel this game. If you're dedicated to releasing content, you're gonna have to take the L. That's just how it is. If you cancel this game outright, it's gonna be Scalebound all over again. But this time, no one can hide, because the one thing about Scalebound, even though it was canceled, only a few people were looking forward to it. The majority of the Xbox community wasn't really feeling it. It was mostly the small segment that was into Japanese games and into RPGs at that time. But the majority didn't care. You guys can't go back. Well, I wasn't interested in Crackdown 3. Nah. You guys the Xbox community, outlets, media, conversations, everybody put their eggs in this one basket. There's no going back. There's no, I wasn't really interested in it. Nah, it's too late for that. So you can't cancel it. The best decision to do is, if you have a goal, if you have a site, if the Xbox One simply wasn't built to handle it, then just take the L and admit it. The Xbox One platform, maybe the X could have, but the S and the vanilla Xbox One, they just ain't going to cut the mustard. It is what form. And maybe it'll work on the One X and the next generation, Project Scarlet. Maybe it will only work on Scarlet. If that's the case, just whatever. But I would say, if you do that, you at least setting up your future platform for success. If you end, because we're close to the end of next gen, if you end next gen on this bad note, releasing a terrible game, that's going to put a blemish, on a blemish you already have, but it's going to be even a bigger blemish, on the reputation of being a first-party publisher. People are going to be suspect on what you're doing with these next 5 studios. You can't have that. It's better to just be like, hey, we're delaying it. The vision that we have will not, can't be achieved on the current hardware configuration we have. But with Project Scarlet, we can see a better future, a better opportunity to truly push cloud technology to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. Hell, that could be the big innovation for next gen. Couldn't do it this gen. Don't give up on the dream. Don't give up on the vision. Maybe you just didn't have the hardware that you thought you did to push a vision. Don't just give up on this. Just keep going. Just move it over to the next generation. Move it over to Project Scarlet. I'm pretty sure you guys are still close to the design. Make sure Project Scarlet has the hardware, the power, and the performance, along with the lessons learned on how to use cloud technology to push the vision that you want for this game. That's my advice for that. So I think Microsoft, if you can't deliver in February what you've been preaching for 4 years, for 4 years, and it'll be 5 years when the game comes out. But if you can't deliver what you've been preaching, don't release the game. I know some people say, well, just get it over with. No, don't just get it over with. There's no point in releasing something that's not promised. It's just going to be all bad. It's just bad. Just bad all around. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get thrashed by the media. Most of the gamers, are going to thrash you. Across the board, from PC gamers, they're all going to thrash you. Because you simply did not deliver what you said you were going to deliver. So don't do it. It's better for people to be pissed off. They delay it again. They'll get over it. Trust me. Look at The Last Guardian. Now we moved on. It's history in the books, Believe me, people will move on, But if you're going to release this game, you got to release what you promise. Don't release it this February in 2019 unless you can deliver what you say you're going to deliver. If you can't deliver, like right now, I guess the only thing you got is a multiplayer mode where it's called Tower or something, where the object of the game is to destroy the other team's tower. So you could destroy a tower. No, don't do that. Release the game that you say you're going to release, move it over to next generation platform, the Xbox Scarlet, utilize the power of the Scarlet, and combine, and hopefully you get the game that you want. But don't just release the game just to release the game, right? So that's my first point. My next thing I want to talk about is why features will never be my number one reason for a console. Now I see a lot of Twitters, people talking about why they like consoles and stuff like that. Some people put the game, some people do this, features, all this stuff, and it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong across that. You like your console for whatever you like it for. It's your money. You get the enjoyment that you want. Me, features has never been, I can't even think of any time where I thought features was that important for me on any level. It's always been about the game, and because of consoles, I always hold first-party publisher to a high regard, right? Because everybody knows when it comes to third-party games, you know what I call them, community pussy. It's something everybody gets to hit. You know what I'm saying? No one's exclusive to that, Everybody's able to dig on that CP. That's just how it is. Everybody gets to play third-party. And then the whole I play better version, somebody's always going to play a better version of a game. Whether it's they're on PC, they have better hardware, or they play on this console, and this console came out with this specs. There's always going to be some variation of someone's doing it better than you. That's irrelevant to me. I don't care if another person's playing the game at a higher frame rate or a higher, resolution or better textures or whatever. I really don't care. I don't really care if someone else is playing the same game but in a different way, better version. It doesn't matter. Because if I really wanted that version to be the best, then I could go get it. That's just at the end of the deal. What I do care about when it comes to these consoles is the first-party publisher. Because to me, that is the true strength behind a console. It's the company that makes the console. What do they do? What do they produce for that console? As long as the console has third-party support across the board, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because third-party is important. So as long as you have it, I'm good. As long as I have access to those games, I'm good. All right? But the first-party publishing is what distinguishes it, It's like the difference of, do I play, I don't know, we'll make us up. Do I play Anthem, Call of Duty, Madden, Red Dead Redemption with Sea of Thieves and Crackdown, or Sea of Thieves instead of Decay? Or do I play those third-party games with God of War and Detroit and Spider-Man? You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I got all these third-party games, but what more do I play? These select games or these select games? That's what it comes down to it. So that's why I go with the platinum. So to me, games will always be at the forefront. Features won't be at the forefront for me. Simple, because to me, features can be copied easier than being a good first-party publisher. That's a little bit trickier. That's a little bit harder. Bumping up your prestige into being a great first-party publisher to where you have great development teams on the umbrella, that's a lot harder to copy. That's a lot harder to do than simply copying features, because any of these companies could copy features if they really want it. I mean, look at the transition from PS3 to PS4, right? PS3 didn't have party chat. PS3 got trophies late into the game. You know what I'm saying? But Sony easily copied it, They copied their achievement system with trophies. Now PlayStation got party chat. Hell, party chat is actually free across the board on every platform, Okay? Sony started out this gen with share play where, you could control another player's game. Microsoft copied it. I think you have to use Mixer to do it, but it's still same concept, right? Sony had communities. Microsoft copied it, and now they have clubs. So features and stuff is easily copied. You can easily copy that. I think Microsoft was the first one to come out with HDR. Now PlayStation has with the Pro with HDR. I mean, you could easily copy features, okay? But now, look at this. Sony ended off the year, with new IPs, such as, let's say, The Last of Us level, right? Then Microsoft was able to copy that. Do they have a new AAA IP franchise the equivalent to The Last of Us, right? Sony this gen created Horizon Zero Dawn, a big AAA RPG. Does Microsoft has a new AAA RPG? Can Microsoft create a sports game on the level of MLB The Show? You understand what I'm saying? It's not that easy to copy. Hell, you can even say, does Sony even have a first-person shooter on the level of Halo to this day? And Sony tried, right? It's like I said, it's not easy to copy games. It's not easy to be to have a development studio to copy amazing games that another platform owner has done, right? Has any of these studios created a platformer on the level of Mario that Nintendo has? See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. Being a first party publisher and having these developers is not easy to copy. You know, you could have all the developers in the world, they may not have the talent, you know what I'm saying, to push and create big AAA games that are brand new, that could potentially be brand new franchises that sustain the long term. Like again, Horizon Zero Dawn. That's gonna be a franchise. We're gonna get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. That game was massively successful, you know? That's why games will be the number one thing I look for into a console, not features. Features, they could easily just adapt and overcome if they feel that's the features they want on the platform. But game development, that's not easy to come by. That's not easy to copy. Sometimes you just don't have the developers to make the big blockbuster games, especially new IPs, that is needed for your new platform. That's just the reality. So for me, when I look at a console, games. When I look at a console and these features, I'm like, all right, that's nice, but those are just features. Anybody could do that if they feel like it. Let me see the structure of the games, studios, the games they have, what games they have to produce, and what games they're gonna produce, you know. And then also as a first party publisher, what are the decisions this publisher is doing? You know, what are the type of deals, whatever, you know. How forward thinking are they? I mean, let's take a look again, using Sony. They used the whole Marvel relationship with Spider-Man and the Marvel Cinematic Universe to finagle the deal so they could exclusively get Spider-Man as an IP to be exclusive on the PlayStation platform, and they got Insomniac to do it. That's just expertise. That's just being a veteran in the gaming industry, you know? That's the thing. Those are the things I look for into a console, because I know a veteran first-party publisher is going to make the right decision, smart decision in terms of getting content onto that platform, you know? That's what I look for, you know? So the whole tech and, you know, feature stuff, I mean, they're great, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, the PlayStation platform for me is a gaming console. What are the decisions the first-party publisher is making for gaming for that platform? And that's how it is for me. That's how it is for me for across all platforms, you know? So that's my thing about what I see number one in a console. It's the first-party publisher and how they put games and how they create games and how they get games on the box. Because features can be easily copied at their leisure, you know? And when they copy it, it's just literally that. It's just copied. Because it's tech that pretty much anyone can mimic, all right? But game development simply can't be mimicked. It's not that easy to mimic, okay? Again, Sony tried with a first-person shooter when they tried to compete with Halo, you know, and Microsoft, you know, I don't even know what they're doing. But anyway, this is your boy PorterRock77. Let me know what you think about this video. Hit up the comment section. And, of course, hit me up with a follow on Twitter. It'll be in the description box. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And everybody hit that bell if you're not getting my notifications when I make these videos and upload them, all right? This Thursday, I won't be doing the 60 frames no lag because I'm traveling. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, you guys take care. And this is your boy PorterRock77, your only friend in these YouTube streets. And I'm out. Peace.